All right, folks, we are back at it. It's the CrossFit Open 18.2 retest hack. I'm Dr. Jared. Hopefully everything went great for you on your first attempt. I've talked to a lot of people and they said, yeah, it went okay, but I think I can do better. Definitely on the first portion, I think we'll see a lot of people get better scores, and that might give people more time to hit bigger lifts. For other people that, who are a little bit more on that competitive side where it's not too much of a challenge to get through the first portion of the workout, we want to find in this retest hack our best way to do our burpees, okay? And that way it's pretty easy to get to that max effort list. We'll go through this now and kind of talk a lot about the burpee because it's the area where I believe you can learn the most. It's a new standard, so for a lot of people, yeah, maybe we've worked it a little bit, but it's not really neurologically set in. So we want to get 4 RX versions. It's important for you to kind of test and train them all. Some of you on the elite level, yeah, you're only going to use the first one and you're going to mash it out and you're going to be in the 4s with your first portion of the workout. For the rest of us, we're going to have to learn, hey, what's our fast version? What's our medium version? And what's our hold on for dear life version? And be able to use those, not like, okay, I got to this portion of the workout, therefore all of my reps will be like this. It's more, hey, as I get tired towards the end, I'm going to do a couple of fast ones. I might phase back into kind of my medium level, and then just get through the reps. I can move into the slowest version that I can do. And with that, we're just going to minimize the time that we're doing the burpees, because that's where the clock gets going. When the burpees go slow, we lose a lot of time, and we want to make sure that you have different variations to keep things going, because you don't want to rest in the burpee. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Now, the first version, we're going to kick our legs back. We're going to jump up, and we're going to jump over and get distance. That's the big thing, is when we're doing this, get as close to the bar with the initial jump and as far away from the bar on the next jump to be able to go down and through this as quickly as possible, or continue your momentum. So it's more of this fluent thing instead of something that's chopped up. Now here, I'm just showing the way to do it, or kind of the idea behind it, so it's not as fast as it probably should be. So for some of you who are really hitting it, no, you want to find just as quick a transition over that bar and back to the ground as possible, definitely through the early portions. You'll see me kick back. I'm going to jump up as close to the bar as I can, get some distance so I can really get down into that next rep. Now that jump right there, it's not far enough realistically for those early rounds. If you're able to do this, the farther that you can jump, the quicker you can get back on the ground, the quicker you can get your next rep. So keep that in mind. Everybody can get down and get up. It's how we initiate, how quickly we can initiate into that next rep that's going to be very, very important for you. Now, if we go to the next one, again, slight caveat here, okay? I'm not HQ. You need to make sure that this is an okay standard for you. If you're on the bubble as a regional athlete and they're going to want your videos, make sure you're very comfortable with your capability to do these, and you don't think you're doing them well, but you're actually doing no reps. All right, that's going to be a very important thing for you guys to know there. So I think they're going to be good. I don't think there's any problem with it, but there is some areas when you get fatigued, you might get lost and you might get no reps. So just be very comfortable with this and know that I'm not HQ here. So you need to be very confident. So here, what you're going to see is I'm going to kick back, kick up, step, jump, kick back, kick up, kind of a quarter step and jump. Now you say, whoa, no, you're not facing the bar. You don't have to face the bar. You have to face the bar when you do the burpee. You have to kick your feet back. You have to kick your feet up, but you can take that side step, do a 2-foot takeoff and a 2-foot landing. And the reason that is really, really good is I don't have to stand all the way up. I don't have to jump my legs all the way up. So that way I'm going to kind of be able to not spike my heart rate through exertion. And I'm not going to have to stand all the way up, so I can speed up the time. I think this is probably the hack. If you're comfortable with doing this, and if you're efficient with being able to be rhythmic with it, this is where you're going to pick up a bunch of time. Whereas at the end, oh God, I got to stand up, I got to jump over, I got to cross step, kick back. It just takes too long. Whereas this, you can be really tired and still do this rate, which is going to be able to blaze through a lot of this for you. Now, the thing to be careful with is this one right here. You'll see that I'll kind of skip up and skip over. You kind of, I did the kip up or the kick up, but it's kind of hard to screw this one up for me. So it's hard to kind of show it bad. But the biggest things that people are going to screw up is bringing one leg up instead of both legs up initially, and then doing like a gallop over there. So when we do this, you need to make sure they're distinct and different. We kick up, step, jump. We jump up, step, 2-foot jump, 2-foot landing. Again, step, jump, 2-foot landing. Those are all good reps. Just make sure you're doing that if you want to use this one. And again, if you're going to get a lot better, this is probably how you're going to do it for most folks. The third version is another good version. Now, it's the same as that first one where we get up and over the bar, or get our feet up as close to the bar as possible. But we're getting tired, right? It's getting, pretty rough. So we can't do that long jump, and we can't really maintain our capability to move forward with our momentum. So we need a little bit of a rest time. So what we're going to do is jump over, cross step, and then step back so we can get into the next rep. It's like a little dance here, but if you think of it like that, you're not going to shuffle your feet and get off rhythm. You'll be able to jump, cross step, step back, get into the next rep, jump, cross step, step back, and then you're following the standards. You're doing your 2-foot over, 2-foot down onto the ground, and as you twist, you get your feet balanced again so you're able to jump back evenly and get your repetitions. I would say if you're not comfortable with that one that we just showed in version 2, this is going to be your version 3. Version 4 at the end, it's when things are pretty tough. We're going to do that 3/4 jump up. So that's maybe all that we can do. We do our step, jump, cross step, kick back, or cross step, step over to be able to kick back. It'll look like this right here. We jump back, we jump up. So there's the good burpee, 2-foot takeoff, 2-foot landing. And then we go into that cross step, reposition that foot or the back step so that we can get our reps and really keep moving. We just want to avoid standing around, shuffling our feet, resting in that top position. We got to be moving to get our repetitions with the burpees. Now, with the dumbbell squat, no-ish grip, no-ish arms, no-ish midlines mean that we can do active rest here. We can actually move pretty darn quick. That doesn't mean we're blasting through like Olsen did. Very few people are going to be able to hold that time under tension. They're going to need to be able to kind of relax at that top, find that joint lockout at the top so that we can maintain and not build up so much lactate in our system, whether you want to talk about that or not, different topic. The no-ish grip means, hey, I'm going to get these bells into a position where I barely even have to hold on to them, if at all. The no-ish arms mean my arms are very, very relaxed and it's very simple, okay? And the no-ish midline means I only have to use my midline enough to be tight and stable. I like the way that I did this. I know some people are like, I'm kind of uncomfortable with that. That's fine. I would rather be slightly uncomfortable with where the bells are than really be gassing my arms, my grip, and my midline. So the idea is if I don't do those things, I'll be able to actively rest, and that way you can press in the burpee, which is really what we want to do. We want to avoid rest in the burpee. We want to press during the burpee. So how do we do this? We get those bells up and back into that comfy position. There I can breathe. I'm barely using my arms. I'm barely using my grip. I'm able to use more of my posterior chain like a back squat, so that I don't gas my anterior chain and quads. Number one, for the burpees, because I have to jump over, and that's more of an anterior chain lift. But it also transitions into the cleans that I'm not super gassed through my quads. So finding that so I don't have to lock down and use so much anterior chain, it's a good hack, I believe, to be able to get into good posterior chain utilization. So you have a lot left over for the burpee and you have a lot left over for the clean. If you don't like that one, just find your best variation where you use your hips more than your quads and your knees, because that's where everyone's diving into. We just want to avoid that because it's just going to make everything suck with the burpees. It's going to make everything suck a little bit more than it has to, or the recovery a little bit more long and arduous in the clean. Speaking of, for some of you with this, it's going to be easy. Because hey, you don't struggle too much with the first portion of the workout. Hey, if you get it in 7 minutes, you're still gonna have 5 minutes, meaning you're probably going to recover into getting very close to your max, if not PRing on this. Definitely, if you're hitting in that 4 minute to 5 minute range, it's really not that big of a deal. So hey, I'm going to recover. I need to start modifying accordingly. So for some of you, you're going to have to say, where do I start? I did like 7 lifts. So I know I just started too light, and I probably gassed through too much exertion, which meant that I couldn't get my 260. I was hoping for 255 because that's really where I've been in my training. I've been up to 265, 267 in the past, but it was kind of nasty and ugly. So my idea was to kind of reformulate things so I can always feel good. I'm just not quite there on this particular lift, and definitely not where I want to be in the future. But we'll look at this and say, what's going on here? I get that bar up there, but yeah, I'm just out of juice, and that's kind of my 7th lift, and it's like, gosh, if I only did 4, I'm probably able to stand that up. So think, where do I start? How many lifts am I going to do? And if you got done early, yeah, take your rest, just be a little bit more methodical. If you have to rush it, I get it. You go back to that thing of saying, hey, get a lift in, get another lift in, get another lift in. You'll just kind of have to do it by feel as you're going through there. But the more time that you build, just realize you're going to get close to your heavy lifts. Have a plan for what you're going to do. Now, we talked about that front rack position, really making sure that you're doing back squats there so you have plenty to do for your front squats. That's going to be something I'm going to adhere to, but I already did some training today to get into some more squat cleans because I just haven't hit a whole lot in training. Here's a 262, kind of getting down into that position, find that same, fault area so I know I'm maxing out my capability. But now, hey, I'm not going to test until Monday. I've gotten some good cleans in on Friday, some good, test cleans in on Saturday morning. I think I'm going to be very confident going in saying, yeah, I'll hit a 260, maybe a 262 or somewhere around there, because I've set myself up to do that. So wherever you're at, just assess your data, modify accordingly, and realize kind of some of the stuff that you do well in that first portion is either going to give you time or energy and exertion. Just make sure you use it wisely when you get into the clean. Now, the last one, hey, I'm screwing up everything. Don't worry, start over. Do it later. With this one, if you're burpees, and realistically, that's where you're going to pick up your time. If you're not doing very good, or if you screwed up a couple of reps, or somebody miscounted, or you're confused, just stop. Just stop and do it over later. Those first 4 reps or those first 5 rounds, you're only through like 25% of the workout. So it's almost like a quick little warm up or getting your engine revved to say, okay, this is what it's going to feel like. Don't worry, start over. If it gets really bad, just do it again later because it's not that hard of a workout in terms of tissue damage here. So you'll be able to do it. In the end, get it right away. Double unders are coming up soon. Pistols are going to be coming up soon as far as tutorials. I think next week will probably be some double under, either wall ball. Getting through the squat stuff that we've done recently, I think everybody's going to be ready for the wall ball, but the pistol is something I want to get out so people are ready. If you want to get this stuff faster, go to hpcmovemob.com, provide your email so you don't have to wait and look for it, or hopefully it reaches you on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. You're able to get it immediately so you can start implementing the hacks, or you can implement the strategies so that you can maximize your potential like we're wanting everybody to do. If not, just find us on Instagram at HPC.J and on Facebook at healthandperformancecenter.com. Guys, go crush your retest, and I can't wait to hear how everybody buys another 30 seconds and hits another 15 pounds or 3 pounds or 20 pounds, whatever it is. I'm excited to hear those, so don't hesitate to share.